Welcome friends to my next video on Vedic mathematics. In the last video, we have seen how to find out the square root of a perfect square number. But suppose the number is not the perfect square number, how to find the square root that we'll see today. So today we'll see the square root of a number which is not a perfect square. So keep it in mind that number, if it is not a perfect square number, its square root is irrational. That means you are not going to get a perfect square root. You'll get an approximate answer. You have already seen a method that is called as division method, but it is a bit lengthy method in which you have to pair the numbers and a lot of steps are involved. Today we'll see a very easy method to find out such square roots. So for that, take the first example, square root of 18. Okay. Now for 18, which is the nearest perfect square, that is 4 square. 4 square is 16, that is less than 18. And the difference between 18 and 16 is 2. So to find out the square root, what you do is, since the nearest perfect square is 4, write 4 here. Now 4 square is 16 and 16 is less than 18. So write plus sign here. Okay. Now difference between 18 and 16 is 2. So that will write here in the numerator divided by 2 and again multiplied by this 4, which will give you 4 plus 2 upon 8 or 1 upon 4. So the approximate square root of this number will be 4.25. Take the second problem here. Square root of 122. Now here 11 square is 121 and 121 is less than 122. And again the difference between 122 and 121 is 1. So what we'll do, as we have done in the first problem, since the nearest square is 11, I will write 11 here. Now 11 square 121 is less than 122. So I'll put a plus sign here. Now difference between 122 and 121 is 1. That I will write in the numerator. Always divide first by 2. And then in this case, since the nearest square is 11, multiply here by 11. And that gives you 11 plus 1 upon 22. And so the approximate value of square root of 122 is 11.04545. See that in this case, if you use the calculator answer will be 11.04536, which is very, very close to the answer that you have got by this method. Let us see one more problem here. Say I'm finding the square root of 80. Now for 80, the nearest square is 9 square 81. And 81 is greater than 80. Secondly, the difference between 81 and 80 is 1. So in this case, first I'll write 9. Now since 81 that is a perfect square, nearest perfect square 81, it's greater than this number 80. Instead of plus sign, I'll write minus sign here. The difference between 81 and 80, that is 1, I'll write in the numerator, divide by 2. This is a common thing in all the cases. You have to always divide by 2 and then multiply by this perfect square, square root rather, which is nearest to 80, and that is square root of 81, that is 9. Okay, and when you solve this, you will get 8.944. And in this case, if you see the calculator answer, you will get 8.94, which you can see is very close to the answer we have got. So let us just take one more problem. Square root of 220. Now, the nearest square of 220 is 15 square. That is 225. And 225 is greater than 220. The difference between 225 and 220 is 5. So now write these numbers. So first write 15. Now since 225 is greater than 220, write negative sign here. The difference 5 you write here, divide by 2 and multiply by, this is 15 square, so multiply by 15 here. So that gives 14.833. And if you see the calculator answer of square root of 220, it is 14.8323. Calculator answer is 14.8323 and so on, which is very, very close to the answer we have got by using this method. So I will give you some problems for practice. You have to just verify these answers using the particular method to find the square root. So first is square root of 66. See that you should get 8.124. Then square root of 101, which is 10.05, then square root of 79, which is 8.888 recurring, and square root of 250, you'll get 15.811 and so on. Okay, so just verify using this method. If you have already done the method of division for finding the square root, you can see this is much easier than that method. Okay. So thank you, friends. I'll see you again in the next video with some more tactics. Enjoy the day. Bye.